There is a quiet shift that happens when interest and boredom stop competing with each other. This episode is about that shift. For much of life, boredom is treated as a problem, a signal that something is wrong, missing, or misaligned. We're taught to escape it, fix it, replace it with stimulation or purpose. Interest, on the other hand, is often treated as a guide, a sign that we're on the right path, something to follow, develop, or turn into direction. But there may come a point when these two states stop asking to be separated. Interest and boredom begin to appear in the same space. You may notice this in very ordinary moments. You're doing something familiar. Part of you is engaged. Another part feels flat. There's no urgency to change the activity. No pull to escape. No excitement either. Just a quiet coexistence. At first, this can feel confusing. If you're used to interest meaning go and boredom meaning stop, their overlap can feel directionless. The mind may look for clarity. Should I continue? Should I change something? Does this mean I'm losing interest or that interest is returning? But nothing needs to be decided. Interest doesn't need to be strong to be real. Boredom doesn't need to be eliminated to make room for engagement. They can exist together without canceling each other out. This episode isn't about finding passion again. It's about allowing attention to move naturally without forcing it into a signal. Interest here is quieter than it used to be. It doesn't pull you forward with intensity. It doesn't promise fulfillment. It simply touches something lightly. You notice a detail. You linger briefly. You stay a moment longer than expected. And boredom may still be present. Not boredom as restlessness. Not boredom as dissatisfaction. Just a flatness that doesn't ask for relief. This combination can feel surprisingly stable. When boredom is no longer treated as a problem, it stops dominating attention. It becomes another texture in experience, not a command to act. And when interest isn't treated as a directive, it stops carrying pressure. You don't need to follow it. You don't need to build anything from it. You let it appear and fade. This changes how time feels. Moments stretch without urgency. You're not trying to make the time pass faster or slower. You're not looking for something better to do. You're simply here with whatever level of engagement is present. This can feel deeply unfamiliar if your life has been shaped by striving or searching. If interest once felt like the only acceptable state, boredom may have been something to fear. But boredom isn't the absence of life. It's the absence of demand. When nothing is demanding your attention, the system rests. Not asleep, resting. Interest that appears inside this rest doesn't disturb it. It doesn't say, now you must move. It says, this is here if you want to notice. And you may notice without doing anything about it. This episode isn't encouraging you to tolerate boredom or cultivate interest. It's noticing that both already arise naturally when nothing is being forced. You may find that activities feel different now. Things you once used to escape boredom may no longer hold the same appeal. And things you once pursued with intensity may feel quieter. This doesn't mean you're losing vitality. It means attention is no longer being organized by avoidance or pursuit. You're not trying to stay entertained. You're not trying to stay engaged. You're allowing experience to be what it is. There can be relief here. You don't need to optimize your day. You don't need to fill empty space. You don't need to justify your level of interest. You let moments pass without needing to improve them. This can feel almost too simple. The mind may look for meaning. It may suggest that you're wasting time or not living fully. But fullness doesn't require intensity. Fullness can be quiet. Interest and boredom sharing the same space means you're no longer waiting for your inner state to line up before you live. You live, and your inner state moves as it moves. This can be especially noticeable during repetitive tasks. Doing something you've done many times before. There's no novelty, no excitement, but there's also no resistance. You're present without engagement needing to peak. This presence isn't effortful. It's just there. You may notice that creativity changes here too. Ideas appear without pressure. Curiosity flickers without needing to be developed. You don't need to act on them. You let them be. This episode isn't about settling for less. It's about removing the requirement that life be interesting in order to be lived. Interest becomes lighter. Boredom becomes softer. Neither needs to dominate. This season isn't about finding direction through interest or avoiding boredom through action. It's about allowing attention to be fluid. Some moments engage you, some don't, and both are okay. If you're listening to this and noticing that your days contain both interest and boredom without much drama, you're not stuck. You're resting in ordinary life. If these reflections feel like something you can return to, you're welcome to stay. Liking the video helps it reach others who may feel uneasy when life feels flat or quietly engaging at the same time. And if you want to keep a steady space like this available, you can subscribe, not for stimulation, but for companionship. If someone you care about seems less driven by interest and less bothered by boredom lately, you're welcome to share this with them, only if it feels right. Interest doesn't need to replace boredom. Boredom doesn't need to end interest. They can share the same space.